Now, the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, also known as SERAP, has sued state governors and the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, over the alleged failure to account for billions of naira spent as security votes since May 2023. Now, Professor Simeon Nnah joins us to share his perspective on this story. Professor, thank you so much for joining us. My first question to you this evening is, what does SERAP lawsuit say about transparency and accountability in the management of security votes in Nigeria?
From the lawsuit they filed, they are saying that there's a significant risk of embezzlement and misappropriation or diversion of public funds collected by the states and FCT as security votes. They equally argued that there is no provision in the Constitution for security votes. There's no part of the Constitution that talked of security votes. If you look at the origin of security votes, it came from the military background. You know, when the military now sought some kind of votes, you know, to secure their position, because another government might come and take over, and they will not have, in fact, the argument was that they want to use that to get information on security towards maybe a coup or what have you. So that was granted to the military, but they smuggled it in to the Constitution. The Constitution, even the area some people are mentioning, Section 14, sub 2B, never talked of security funds. It talks about maintenance of maybe the head of state's household and the governor and the household. So security funds, the way it's been operated, like this in this year's budget, it's been said that about 14 state governors have appropriated 140 billion for security funds alone, 10 governors. Now, if you want to share that appropriately, it means 14 billion per state out of the 10. And then these monies are not to be accounted for. Now, SERAP is saying that these people should account for this money. It is public funds, so it should be accounted for. People should know what the funds are meant for, where the funds are going. So they are calling for a constitutional amendment. You know, even if you are going to have security votes, let it be appropriated, let it be accounted for. I'll give you an example of what I'm trying to say. Now, before now, when accountants do their job, auditors do their job, and they don't know where to lob some money, they create an avenue, which they call miscellaneous expenses. And before now, miscellaneous expenses were not audited. So whatever you want to do, you just push it to miscellaneous. At a point where the heat came on, just like it's coming on now on security votes, now the Institute of Chartered Accountant now said, your miscellaneous must have headings. We're not saying it's going to be audited, but let us have headings. Tell us where you spent these miscellaneous funds. Now you see things like tissue paper, 10 million or 5 million. And the question will be, is it only toilet that those people are going in that organization? Or are they doing other things that they are using 5, 10 million for toiletries and what have you? So that's the kind of thing we are saying now, that these security funds should be included in the Constitution, and the Constitution should now address the issue. Maybe the governors will give us headings of how they spend this money. This amount was spent for this, this amount was spent on. We're not going to go into the nitty-gritty of how it was spent, because it shouldn't be audited, like they're trying to say, to give them leverage to do what they want to do. But a situation where you just give a blanket money for a whooping 14 billion, and no governor will come back and tell you that they spent 1 kobo. Meanwhile, insecurity is increasing in the states. In Abuja, in January alone, we have lost 2 people. 2 women were lost due to what they call, what's it called again? These guys that rob people in their vehicles, and they push them out. A lawyer was informed, and another one was informed.
Professor, if I may.
And these monies are being spent. If if we have such funds, can those people be traced and arrested? Security today is driven by technology.
Yes.
So if these people were, if they are spending this money the right way, I think that the killers of these two ladies would have been apprehended before now. So what SERAP is saying is that even if you are going to have these security funds, please let us know. Let the public know. It's public fund. It's not pocket money. Now, the governors are treating it as if it's their pocket money. They can spend it any way they like. And they even spend it on other things. Recall that the former governor of Imo State said,
Professor, if I may interject,
funds to refurbish some schools. Is that what it's meant for?
All right,
So
if I may interject, sir.
That at times they divert these funds to other things.
Professor, if I may interject, because I'd like to unpack some of the things that you are saying. Now, let's take into consideration the fact that worsened insecurity is worsening. It's a fact. How justified is the continued secrecy surrounding security votes and expenditures?
What we are saying that these security funds are not spent on security per se. Because if it is spent on security, we won't have the level of insecurity we are having right now. Excuse me. So what we're trying to say is that government should come out clean and let us know what they are spending this money on. Like I said, let there be headline. We use this to procure this equipment, we use this to procure this equipment, and stuff like that. At the end of the day, we're not saying that they should come and give us a rundown, a minute-to-minute details. But at least let there be headlines of things they have done, things that can be seen, things that can be assessed, that these things were done with security funds. The way it is now, the governors are treating it as if it's their pocket money. So they can spend it, they can give it to anybody or spend it anyhow. And that is not acceptable, and that is what SERAP is saying.
Now, if the court grants SERAP's request, how could this reshape governance and public finance oversight at the state and FCT level?
Now, well, if they grant that, it means that the National Assembly should now rejig the 1999 Constitution as amended to now include that all funds budgeted for security must be kind of accounted for. At least let us know what projects that they have used it for. Because as we speak now, nobody knows what they are using it for. And then, like we said, and you agree with, insecurity is increasing by the day. So if they're actually spending that money for security, we won't have the level of insecurity that we're having in the society today.
Okay, and lastly, sir, what legal or constitutional hurdles might arise in compelling governors and FCT ministers to disclose security vote spending?
Well, just for the National Assembly to bring a bill and pass it into law and make the president to sign it into law, that all votes, security votes now, will be accounted for. At least it will be appropriated for, and at the end of the day, just like every other project, we know exactly where this money will be spent at the end of the day, so that people can easily know what the government is doing with their money. These things are not private funds, so I don't know why they are treating it like this. And this is not a military regime. This is not in our constitution. That's the most painful aspect of it. That it is something that they imported from the military regime, and that should be stopped. So one of the prayers of SERAP, which I agree with totally, is that these funds must be accounted for. They might not be stopped, but let the National Assembly. Well, the problem I have is on your mandate to start National Assembly. I don't know how they are going to do it. But the National Assembly, the court may compel them to pass that law, and they will pass the law and now send it to presidency for assent. And we can take it off from there. Once it's assented for by the president, we can take it off from there. The question again is, when the president assent to the bill, because it's not only the governors that are taking these security votes, the presidency is equally involved in these security votes.
Professor Simeon Nnah, thank you for your time.